Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Your Techie Buddy. So this is a continuation of our Java 8 interview question series, and today I'm going to speak about method references. So these are very important concepts. Before understanding method references, you should have a clear understanding of Lambda expressions and functional interface. I've created a detailed video on the same in my channel. Please check that before coming to method references. So let's start. I'll get back to the code where I have this demo on the functional interfaces. If you remember, I've given you different demos, right? Function with one parameter, a single parameter as an integer, as a string, and then we have by function with two inputs, right? So all these, I'll just give an example of how to convert a Lambda expression into a method reference. Okay, I'll just show you the slide first. So what is a method reference? Method reference is a compact way of referring to a method or functional interface. Okay, so till now we are referring to how we are using a functional interface method. We are giving a lambda express, we are giving an implementation. So method reference is a compact way of referring to a method or functional interface. It is used for treating the method as lambda expression, so it's a replacement for lambda expressions. So now lambda expressions we use to give the implementation for our functional interfaces, right? Now what we'll do is method reference will replace those implementation. So a method reference can be identified double colon. So two columns we have to give to identify the method reference, separating a class or the object name and the name of the method. So I'll just explain you this. I know it is too much for that. So yeah, we have this function. We are using this function pre-built functional interface, which is what it is doing, squaring this. It is taking one integer and it is returning the result, right? You remember, right? Function takes one input, returns back. So this is the Lambda implementation we gave for that. Take one input, give the square of that. Okay. Now we are printing this. So what if I'll go down here, I'll take a class test, suppose, class test. What we'll do is public static, what we'll do, square me. I'll have a method which, which takes one integer, returns us a int value. What it will return? Return us a square of a into a, right? So this is an implementation I have given here. So don't you think this is same as what we have here? It takes one a and gives a into a, right? This is the implementation which we wanted, right? So what I'll do is this lambda expression now, which is an implementation of this square, this reference of function interface. I can replace this thing with the class name which I created now, test, and the method in it. The method I created, and how to refer to that method, as I told you, double colon square me. So this is the method which I created down there, right? And I'm referring that. Now you see my lambda expression is gone. The parenthesis, the arrow symbol in the body, right? That thing is gone, and that implementation is nothing but I gave it here, right? So this class test has a method which is similar to the implementation which I was giving inline to the lambda expression, right? So this is how I replaced it. Let me take one more example. Suppose this by consumer, okay? So what it is, what by consumer, by the name you know, right? It takes two input, it consumes, it doesn't give us back anything, okay? So what I'll do here is, this is the lambda expression. It takes two things, it is printing this, okay? So what I'll do is, I'll take this implementation. I'll take this implementation. I'll go down here. I'll have a class test by consumer, okay? What I'll do is, I'll give an implementation public static. It returns nothing, right? Void. Let me do print me, and it takes by consumer, taking two input, right? So what is the two input? A and B, in this case integer. Let us take int x comma int y. Name doesn't matter. And I'll give the implementation here. Whatever I wrote it there, right? I'll give it here. What it is doing, it is summing and printing, right? So this is the implementation which I give here, right? Summing and printing. So now this print me method of test by consumer class which I created, what it will replace? It will replace this lambda expression, right? I'll call here test by icon. How are you referring to the method? Double colon print me. See, I replaced that lambda expression with the method reference. Right? We gave the implementation, whatever we were giving inline here. Suppose in this case, whatever implementation we are giving inline to a lambda expression, we moved it out to a method here of a class. So now you'll be thinking, right? Then what is the significance of this? We could have done the same thing there also, right? So what is the significance is suppose this was not, suppose this was previously there in your, the square me logic was there in some class in your code, okay, and in this place you also wanted to use that logic. So instead of you giving the lambda expression here and writing the logic here inline to the method, you could reuse that class dot that square me, right? So whatever method you had already in your code base, you could have reused this. So this is what method references that is this, it improves the reusability of your code. That means if you already had a method in your in one of the class which was doing the same squaring of the things, you can just refer it here instead of creating a lambda expression. This will increase the code reusability. If you don't have that, you can go ahead with lambda expression. Right? So this is the significance of method reference. So now this makes sense, right? Method reference is a compact way of referring. Correct. Here we had lambda expression. Now it is too compact, right? Just the class name, double colon, the method name of referring to a method of a functional interface. It's used for treating methods as lambda expressions, right? Same thing, we were having lambda expression, we replaced it. It's a replacement for our lambda expression. A method reference can be identified by double colon. I just showed you double colon to call a method, right? To refer a method basically. A method reference can be identified double colon separating a class or object name and the name of the method. That's it. Class, the name, the object name, the method name which we are calling using the double colon. This is called method referencing, referring a method of a class by using this double colon symbol. This is called method referencing. So what are the types of method reference? So reference to a static method. You can refer to a static method of a class by using the class name and the method name. So this is how I did here, right? I just declared this as static with the class name. I referred it. Reference to an instance method. Similarly, if there was an instance method, you would have done this way, right? Then reference to a constructor. This is how you do the method name and the containing type. Hash it new. This will help you to create a constructor. So yeah, that is it about the method reference. In the next slide, I'm going to cover about optional. It is a very important topic on Java 8. So please do watch the same. Thank you. Please like and subscribe the channel.